Ned Price from the State Department came out today saying that the Russians are planning a false flag to justify a pretext for a Ukrainian invasion. Only problem with that is Ned Price didn't present any evidence and the media called him out. Who is Ned Price? We got to make sure we understand who this guy is. Well, of course, we start with Joe Biden. He's the president, and he is the commander-in-chief. He picks people for his cabinet. The Secretary of State, this is Antony Blinken. We've covered him a lot on this channel. And under him is Ned Price. He's the State Department spokesperson. A little bit more about Ned. Ned, born 1982. Somebody who used to be an actual CIA agent from 2006 to 2017. He worked over there and then decided to retire because he'd rather retire from the CIA than work for Donald Trump. But now he's back working at the State Department under the Biden administration. And you'll notice about Ned that he gets very agitated when people who are less intelligent ask him questions that he doesn't want to answer. He gets very bothered about this. And this is because he went to Harvard University and to Georgetown. So very intelligent. And if any peasants out there ask him questions, he gets a little bit agitated, as we're going to see. But this is Ned Price from Harvard coming out and telling us about this very precarious situation that is developing with the Russians. They've got a video that they're preparing to release that might be a false flag. Let's see what he's talking about.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
We have previously noted our strong concerns regarding Russian disinformation and the likelihood that Moscow might seek to create a false flag operation to initiate military activity.
Okay.
Now, we can say that the United States has information that Russia is planning to stage fabricated attacks by Ukrainian military or intelligence forces as a pretext for a further invasion of Ukraine.
Wow.
One possible option the Russians are considering, and which we made public today, involves the production of a propaganda video, a video with graphic scenes of false explosions depicting corpses, crisis actors pretending to be mourners, and images of destroyed locations or military equipment, entirely fabricated by Russian intelligence.
All right, so we'll pause there. He's talking about a video, a lot of details, very graphic, sounds like maybe he's seen it or it's very descriptive. Somebody has a lot of detail that have been provided to him that he is now providing to the public. And so that begs a lot of questions. You kind of have some questions about that video, corpses and explosions. And it's interesting. Could you tell where it was? And we'll come back to that. But he carries on. He says this video is just one of a number of other options that the Russians have at their purview that they may use. And we're coming out to let them know that we know about these little shenanigans that they might be pulling, with the hopes that they just don't do it. Here's what Ned says.
To be clear, the production of this propaganda video is one of a number of options that the Russian government is developing as a fake pretext to initiate and potentially justify military aggression against Ukraine. We don't know if Russia will necessarily use this or another option in the coming days. We are publicizing it now, however, in order to lay bare the extent of Russia's destabilizing actions towards Ukraine and to dissuade Russia from continuing this dangerous campaign and ultimately launching a military attack.
So the theory goes that Russia has some sort of tactic or technique up their sleeve. It's either this propaganda video or something else that's going to make Russia look very sympathetic. Oh no, we were attacked. Some Ukrainian forces came and hurt us. That would justify them responding and contribute to a pretext for a full-out war in Ukraine and sort of seizing that area, saying we're only responding to the attack that was levied upon us. And so if Ned is saying that there's a lot of evidence that this exists and that this is not true, that if the Russians come out and make a claim like this, it's just a bunch of hogwash, well, he must have some more details about this, right? Some more evidence. And that's going to be the word of the day today, because the media, somebody from the AP we're going to learn about, asked Ned about this. Ned, you've got a lot of details here. You gave us some of them. I need a little bit more, though. What actually do you have? Do you have a video? Do you what do you got? And so before we listen to what Ned says, let's brainstorm with Ned and see if we can come up with some possibilities about what might be here. So first and foremost, one question to Ned might be, do you have an actual video? Like, do you have a copy of this thing? Because I have a whole slew of follow-up questions that come after that. Have you seen it? Has the president seen it? Has anybody else in the Security Administration, the DOD, has Anthony Blinken, your boss, seen it? Have you shown it to the Russians? Has Vladimir Putin seen it? There's a lot of questions. Who made the video? Where did it come from? When was it created? Has this been verified? Has anybody taken a forensic look at this actual video file? Is it a tape? Is it a CD? Is it a DVD? If we have a copy of this thing, how did we get it? Very important questions. And has this thing even been authenticated? Is it from Russian military or is this from some other group? Do we have any ideas? And so, Ned, if you don't actually have a copy of the video, if you're just relying on somebody telling you what's in the video, well, then we have questions about that source, don't we? Who is it? Who is the source? Are they reliable? And we've got all the other personnel questions, right? How are they vetted? How are they authenticated? How did they come into our purview? Who do they work for? And are they compromised, of course, is the big question. Is this Russian intelligence? Is this an ex-KGB agent? What is happening, Ned? We've got so many follow-up questions. Hopefully, he's going to have some answers for us. And so this is kind of where Matt Lee was going. Matt Lee is a writer over for the AP. He covers the State Department. He's on Twitter at AP Diplo writer, and he's been doing this for a long period of time. And so he has the first question of the day. This is Ned, who finishes with his speech. And so Mr. Lee from the AP asks him this.
Okay, well, that's quite a mouthful there. So
Yeah.
You said actions such as these suggest otherwise. Suggest meaning they suggest they're not interested in talks and they're going to go ahead with some kind of a... What action are you talking about?
One, the actions I've just pointed to.
What action?
The fact that Russia continues to engage in disinformation campaigns.
You made an allegation that they might do that. Have they actually done it?
What we know, Matt, is what I have just said, that they have engaged in this activity. In this planning activity. But let me because obviously this is not the first time we've made these reports public. You'll remember that just a few weeks ago.
I'm sorry, made what report public?
If you'll let me finish, I will tell you what report we made public. We told you a few weeks ago that we have information indicating Russia also has already prepositioned a group of operatives to conduct a false flag operation in eastern Ukraine. So that, Matt, to your question, is an action that Russia has already taken.
It's an action that...
Okay, so do you see what he did? He came out and he said, we're telling you information about Russian activity. And he says, yeah, but what are you telling me about it? Well, I'm telling you that they're going to do this thing. And he says, well, but other than that, do you have a report? Do you have something? And he says, yeah, we do have a report. We have a very similar report to the one we told you about previously, where I said in that report that people were carrying out a false flag attack in East Ukraine. And he said, well, but there was no report back then. He says, yes, there was. I came out and told you the thing. And he's just like I'm doing right now. And he's saying, but that's not a report. That's just you talking. What evidence do you have, Ned? Here's how this goes.
Matt, this is derived from information known to the U.S. government, intelligence information that we have declassified. I think you know.
Okay, well, where is it? Where is this information?
It is intelligence information that we have declassified.
Well, where is it? Where's the declassified information?
I just delivered it.
No, you made a series of allegations and statements.
Would you like us to print out the topper? Because you will see a transcript of this briefing that you can print out for yourself.
That's not evidence, Ned. That's you saying it. That's not evidence. I'm sorry.
Oh, he didn't like that. And so what Ned is saying is, I am the evidence, good sir. I am the purveyor of intelligence to you. I said it. It came out of my mouth. Is that not good enough for you there, Mr. Lee, from the AP? And so he's not happy with that. And when he gets questioned about that, he says it comes from the U.S. government, and that's as good as gold there, sir. But he says, this is the information we got. If it's not going to be on a transcript, if that doesn't serve your needs for you, it's all we got. Here's what you got.
Evidence. I'm sorry.
What would you like, Matt?
I would like to see some proof that you that you can show that
any evidence
Matt, you have been
that shows that the Russians are doing this. Ned, I've been doing this for a long time.
I know, that was my point. You have been doing this for quite a while. You know that when we declassify intelligence information, we do so in a means we do so with an eye to protecting sources and methods.
Is not going to fall. I remember a lot of things. So where is the declassified information other than you coming out here and saying.
Matt, I'm sorry you don't like the format, but we have
It's not the format; it's the content.
I'm sorry you don't like the content. I'm sorry
It's
you.
not that I
I'm
don't
sorry
like
you
it,
are
we're
doubting
just-
the information that is in the possession of the U.S. government.
No,
what I'm telling
Should
you
he?
is that this is information that's available to us. We are making it available to you.
That's it. That's all you got. This is what we've got. This is what you've got. Never mind the fact that the last time we gave you this information from the U.S. government, it was all a joke, right? You said Kabul wasn't going to fall. In no situation are people going to be air evac'd off of embassy rooftops on helicopters, I think was the standard line out of the Biden White House. But all of that turned out to be erroneous. It all didn't work out according to their plan. And so now the media is saying, no, we actually can't trust you. We need to know what is your evidence. If you're going to be saying that the Russians are basically concocting this entire war footing based on propaganda, we need a little bit more than just your word and your honor. And he goes back, of course, to the standard line, well, we can't tell you much more than that because we're protecting our confidential sources and protecting our information. And he says, yeah, just like in Afghanistan, didn't work out. We need more before you drag us into World War III. And so now Ned is going into sort of condescending mode a little bit towards Mr. Lee, says, hey, it's all about deterrence. I mean, if you knew anything about this. And so if you just want to, keep pumping those same Russian talking points, you're free to do that. Here's Ned.
I'm telling you is that this is information that's available to us. We are making it available to you in order for a couple reasons. One is to attempt to deter the Russians from going ahead with this activity. Two, in the event we're not able to do that, in the event the Russians do go ahead with this, to make it clear as day, to lay bare the fact that this has always been an attempt on the part of the Russian Federation to fabricate a pretext.
Yeah, but you don't have any evidence to back it up other than what you're saying.
Right.
It's like you're saying, we think we have information the Russians may do this, but you won't tell us what the information is. And then when you're asked,
that is the idea behind deterrence, Matt. That is the
when
idea
you're
behind
asked-
deterrence.
and when
It
you're
is our
asked-
hope that the Russians
when you're
don't
asked
go
what the
forward with
information-
this.
Okay, so he's saying, oh, Matt, you're just so dumb. Listen, dum-dum. It's about deterrence. Us saying to the Russians, we know what you're going to do. It's going to deter them from doing the thing that they were going to do. And he says, yeah, but how do we know that they were going to do the thing that you say that they were going to do if you don't show us any evidence that they're doing the thing? And he says, well, that's because you're not a Harvard-educated person like I am. You don't know what deterrence means. Deterrence means that if we're successful, it's because we did the right thing, but we can't tell you about it. And so it's very circular. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to Matt either. He's trying to sort of concoct a situation where he wins no matter what happens. And it's easy to do if you can just control the entire argument, as he's attempting to do here. So let's see here how else we finish with Mr. Ned.
Is you say, I just gave it to you. But that's not what
you seem not to understand. You seem not to
Oh,
understand the idea of
Harvard.
We are
You
trying
seem
to
not to
deter
understand the
the
idea
Russians
of-
from moving forward with this type of activity. That is why we're making it public today. If the Russians don't go forward with this, that is not ipso facto an indication that they never had plans to do so.
But then it's unprovable.
Yeah.
My God. What is the evidence that you have that suggests that the Russians are even planning this?
Matt,
I mean, I'm not
you-
saying that they're not, but you just come out and say this and expect us just to believe it without you showing a shred of evidence that it's actually true. Other than when I ask, or when anyone else asks, what's the information? You said, well, I just gave it to you, which was
Right.
just you making a statement.
Matt, you said
That's just you giving us a statement, but we keep forgetting that that's all it takes. If you have an Ivy League background and if you work for the U.S. government and if you are part of the State Department, that's it, man. You're at the top. Your word is gold.
Which was
Last
just
one.
you making a statement.
Matt, you said yourself, you've been in this business for quite a long time. You know that when we make information, intelligence information public, we do so in a way that protects sensitive sources and methods. You also know that we declassify information only when we're confident in that information. If you doubt the credibility of the U.S. government, of the British government, of other governments,
Yes.
and want to
Yes.
Find
Yes,
solace
we
in
do.
information that the Russians are
Solace?
putting out, that
Solace?
is for you to do.
I'm not asking what the Russian government is putting out. And
John,
Next question. Next question, he moves on, doesn't take it. So saying if you want to take solace in whatever propaganda the Russians are putting out, you're free to do that. How dare you hold us accountable or ask that we provide more details about what we're actually doing? You know, it's very convenient. It's a good gig if you can get it, where you can just go out and sort of say whatever you want. And anytime anybody questions you, first default answer is, got to protect our confidential sources and make sure that our data is very secure. And then, of course, the next thing is just, you're just dumber than I am. You don't even know what deterrence means. And I've created a situation here through our own intelligence that makes sure we win no matter what. If the Russians are deterred and there is no attack, we're pretty smart. If they weren't going to attack in the first place anyways, well, you didn't know about it because we didn't have to share any of the evidence with you. What do you think about this? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love it if you subscribed. We have a live show that we do every weekday, and it's a lot of fun. I'd love to see you join us there. So hit that subscribe button before you get out of here, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.